Here we are. So, this is Gold League, and we've got Kingston down here in the red. Kingston known as the best player in Mexico, and he is now up against who I consider to be the second best player in Mexico. Now, that could be wrong. I think the results, at least within Titans League, have proved that, because Uzzi, the only other player that was able to get beyond Silver League into Gold League alongside Kingston. And that villager is just chilling, which is really bad. That's really bad. The game has started. He doesn't... Okay, it took 30 seconds. That villager was standing on top of the sheep, not eating the sheep. Thankfully, Uzzi is Roman, so the 5% greater efficiency will help out a little bit. And we've got Reverse Acropolis. So, you probably all know Acropolis, where you usually start up on the hill, and then you have to go down the hill, and then find all the wood lines and expand. This is just the opposite approach. You're now at the bottom of a pit, and you then have to go up this massive hill to take the bigger wood lines. So it's extremely risky to not control the map, because now you're in a pit. Whereas before, if you didn't control the map, you had the defender's advantage of the hill. So yeah, it's called Reverse Acropolis. I think the concept was created by Young Panda. I was looking through a bunch of maps and felt like this could be pretty cool. I expect a lot of army here. The Kingston has gone for the way. So his game plan is probably to get a lot of eco-techs. And, ooh, Kingston is going to leave the pit. He's looked at his wood lines. Like, this could be a decent lumber camp. This is 20 trees. But he said, nope, I'm going to go over here. And here there's 70 trees. So it's a long walk, but it's a nice little spot to find. It is kind of off to the side, which you won't always have. He had to scout that really early. So he delayed pushing in his deer to get the scouting. But yeah, Uzzi has gone for the lumber camp at home. Are there any Parks and Rec fans watching? Because this is now the second time I've cast this map. And every single time I talk about the pit, I just want to sing, I fell in the pit. It enters my brain every single time. So that means for the next 2 months, I'm going to have to resist the urge to sing that song. Or maybe we all sing it together. I don't know, but if you've never watched that show, how do I explain it? There was a guy who was walking by a pit, and then he fell in the pit, and then he also had a band. What was the name? What was the first name of the band? Rats something? Anyways, he sings a song about it, and it's actually quite a catchy song, but it's a pretty stupid show. It's not serious. Mouse Rat. Yeah, there we go. All right. I like this chat. I like this. Saseki, thank you for the resub. I will not be singing anymore, though, so the jamming will have to stop. Thank you. Thanks for the 62. So, I'm curious on what the scouting is going to end up looking like for Uzzi specifically, because most likely players are going to push their deer. They're pretty far away from players, so I think it's very unlikely we're going to see a lot of man-at-arm rushes. So it's probably going to be a scout opening map, but it's not about the opening that makes this exciting. It's about the adaptation in the mid-game. I don't know if this is going to be too easy to find. You'll have to do a couple passes in the base to realize the woodline's over there. Kingston going to click up here. Just a little bit about Uzzi's playstyle. So Uzzi's playstyle is he always likes to make more army. MBL is listening, so this is a really bad time for this comparison. But I actually feel like if there was a 2K5 that played like MBL, and MBL will take offense to this, because he's like, I'm not like a 2K5. But no, seriously, I think Uzzi's a really good example of that. And MBL, hear me out, because you like to make a lot of army, okay? You like to make a lot of army. And the longer the game goes in like Castle Age, usually the better it is for you. That's kind of how I see Uzzi. But again, he's obviously a step below MBL. He's not Platinum League. MBL is more experience and all that. But for those that don't know Uzzi's playstyle, I think it's a decent enough comparison to consider. And for Kingston, Kingston's very micro-oriented. So fairly meta. He won't want to make a lot of excess units. He likes to have super clean economy and make low numbers of units. But lovely stuff over here. He's got 9 villagers on this wood line. And again, Uzzi's coming forward. Uzzi will know that Kingston is in the pit. I'll stop. And you're never going to run into your opponent's town center on this map because you know it's got to be in the center of this pit. Just be patient, look around, and wait. The stable's on the way up for Uzzi. Uzzi went for 2 lumber camps, but again, the storyline is you're going to run out of trees pretty quickly here. So eventually you're going to want to control the middle. There's 2 things you're considering here. Option 1, you want lots of army. Lots of army makes a lot of sense. But on the flip side, the more I think about it, I think snagging horse collar here is really valuable. Because you're going to run out of wood very quickly. So, and I mentioned that because sometimes players won't get it on the really fast builds. Because they want to save wood, they want to get the range up fast, they want to get some spearmen out. But yeah, we see the upgrade coming in now for Uzzi. I think that's really going to benefit, considering he doesn't have the lower lumber camp. And we also do have it for Kingston. Now, guys, this could very much be a me thing. But like, I find that the players with lots of confidence and lots of speed, they're going to do this, where they don't even fully build the palisade, because they're just like, that's no problem for me. If I get attacked there, I could just go click it. Slower players, like, you know, yours truly, we're gonna fully build those palisades. So I look at this, and again, it's more of a me thing, but I look at that and I'm like, all right, this guy doesn't think he's gonna have any problems. He does, I guess, fully build these. But that gets your villagers working a little bit more efficiently, because you get the villagers working quickly. Uzzi's going for the big walls. Uzzi's got the spearmen out. Both players probably pretty happy because Uzzi has the greater efficiency. You got, wow, 3 hits with that spearman. But the way player will have more villagers because the way player gets a villager for every ecotech. So far, ecotech, 2 ecotechs researched. But that could be 5 villagers. If you get both your mining techs and wheelbarrow, you could be up 5 vills. I don't think it's worth it, though, to spam the ecotechs out of the mining camp that early. Later on, you can. Both players get hit here. But has Uzzi found the wood line yet? Nope. Yep. He's looking for it. He's like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't see the wood line. He might check now. He clearly checked for a back wood line. He's had nice defense so far. Very wally, very defensive. There's the archer range. But this is just a little bit out of the way. He does see a couple trees, but he still doesn't see any of the action there. Pretty calm start so far. MBL, are you trying to lure chatters out of my chat? Are you stealing viewers to go play WoW with them right now? What? We get all these additional funds to toss into Platinum League, and now Platinum player is here trying to steal my viewers. What is this? MBL, I thought we were friends. It's all good. Have fun. WoW is great. Well, I've heard. Like I said, I'm not going to play WoW because I hear it is extremely addicting. And I don't need that. We've got 8 farms. There for Uzzi. Not the highest number, to be honest. And those numbers can be bumped up a little bit. We've got 10 farms over here for Kingston, so they're both naturally building up. Did Uzzi catch a glimpse of the wood line? No. Bro. He missed it. That's crazy. It's got to be bothering him big time. But seems like a pretty good spot. The more natural approach would be to go here. I think if Uzzi wanted to do the same thing, he could have gone over this way, but he just never scouted it. Oh, hole. Unfortunately, the scouts are weak, but nice quick walls there from Kingston. I think both players are going to be pretty happy with how this game has gone. There's been very little in the way of kills, very little eco damage, but the efficiency for the Romans balanced out with the extra vills from the way will make this pretty even. Here comes Uzzi, though, with the spearmen and the archers. I think it's important. His scouts go to the right side, so he doesn't see the wood line here either. So he's got to know now. I think the fact that he scouted these 3 trees should tell him he can move over there. And it's going to be 2 spearmen there from Uzzi. Kingston sees it. And now there's an archer there too. And this is good for Kingston just to give himself a little bit of time and space. Just to breathe a little. Someone says, T90, WoW was great, ... He says, I'd rather spend my time on you than any WoW channel. Aw. Damn. I mean, it sounds like that's coming from a former WoW addict, not a current WoW addict, but I'll take what I can get. Those are pretty nice words. Well, thank you. Yeah, this still isn't completely walled. And Uzzi, he's just been so confused. He's like, where are these vills? Aha! I found you. And this is what I said earlier. You don't build the palisade because you're fast enough to be able to recover. He has to drop more quick walls, and he does have an army here to probably be able to keep this safe. Uzzi's only advanced forward with 2 archers, so it's probably not going to lead to a lot here. Yeah, villagers go down. And scouts go down, and Kingston, just that slight micro difference. You could tell he's confident. I think... Can someone look these two up? I meant to do it, and then we started telling jokes and stuff. Can someone look up the matchup between these two on Wikipedia? Because my theory was that Kingston's just seen as like the guy in Mexico, and Uzzi's always the number 2. But I'm curious how many results have actually happened that confirm that. That would be helpful. We've just got a blacksmith now for Kingston. The fact he had no blacksmith upgrades and cleaned that up was nice. 7-1 KD. Brazilians look away for a second. Here come the villagers for Uzzi. Scouts are there from Kingston. Kingston's getting the eco-techs now. So he'll get a couple of vills while on the way to the next stage. Will he catch these archers? Oh, they find each other. That's actually really good for Kingston. I know it could be bad because he could just struggle now. But now he knows. And now he realizes, I can't fight that. He's in Castle Age faster. I'm going to drop a tower. But he continues to march forward. So Uzzi's kind of hoping this army is being chased right now. Uzzi's now running into archers. And Uzzi better panic here on his wood line. And this would ideally be a very quick town center. I think if you get the town center down, it's maybe okay. But that is a lot of archers. Meanwhile, the tower's up there. No kills for it. For Kingston. But now the crossbows are coming in to pressure the gold. Interesting, we're going to see a night switch here from Kingston. That seems to be the play anyways. He's getting scale barding. He's also getting bloodlines. You know, there's not a lot of crossbows from Uzzi. So that could work. It's also not a lot of crossbows for Kingston. But Uzzi's playing sharp, guys. He's got the town center going up at the top hill. His units are kind of blocking it. But I really even like the town center position. Because it's positioned somewhat on the other side of the wood line to protect it. Ideally, it would have actually been here, but still good. Soren says series record is 8-1 for Kingston. Okay, so that backs up my feeling on it then. So 8-1 is pretty significant, and that doesn't count ladder games either. You could even go deeper into the rabbit hole and look at that. I'm actually hoping, guys, to have our website updated with all of this information for all the players. We're currently working on that stuff, but it'd be super cool to be able to compare ranked history, match history, tournament history, all on one page, which is in progress. But 8-1 is crazy. So Kingston, if things go wrong, he's going to think, oh, it's fine. It's Uzzi. Maybe not quite to that tone, but that's kind of how it adds to the confidence. And also, if things start to fall apart for Uzzi at any point, could easily feel like he's letting it slip away. So 2 town centers for both. Very close game. Long term, it's all about controlling the map. Kingston accidentally shoots a deer. You can see expanding the town centers in any of these areas could be very strong. Still 1 town center for Kingston, actually. I think I said 2. And he'll drop a siege workshop. So we'll have a couple Hei Guang, which aren't as tanky as knights, but they do a bit more damage. And then he's got the crossbows. And the crossbow count's still higher for Uzzi. But no ballistics or anything. And good eco upgrades for Uzzi. I really like the eco balance, too. The fact he's still got farms. He's dropping the university now. The only thing, really, is he doesn't know about that siege workshop. That siege workshop could be a game changer. But nice patience. Uzzi, I think he beat Antagonist in the Decider. It was a best of 5. It was one of the best sets. If you ever want to go back and follow a set from players you haven't seen before, or from Titans League Bronze specifically, Uzzi Antagonist was maybe the best one. It was a best of 5 to make it into Gold League. Loser would go Silver. Antagonist was the 1 seed. Uzzi was the 2 seed. Crazy game 5. Like, one of the craziest deciding games I've seen in a long time. Level was extremely high. Big clear up here for Kingston. But yes, that's how Uzzi made it in. He was not favored to make it into gold, and he will be seen as the underdog while here. That's just so much army from Kingston. My goodness. That was so much army. So many crossbows. So many Haegwang. And still one town center, but now he's going to have the siege as well. And uh-oh. Uh-oh. Feels like a town center that makes sense. Everything's probably fine unless there is a siege workshop. Because now you're placing 2 town centers. That's a siege target. I mean, Uzzi was never getting away with that army. I guess if he had a chance to get away, when he was here, he needed to run away. But it's hard to get away from the way, if you know what I mean. Because they know the way, and you don't. Again, not a comedy stream. It's a commentary stream. See, now you've gone too far again. You've got fast units chasing you. Now you might need to double back. It is nice he knows about the siege workshop, though. So having that knowledge, you could probably drop your own siege workshop. You could maybe also consider a couple monks around the town center in case any cav dies. He has the eco lead, but there's going to be pressure coming in with crossbows. Kingston's got the army over here. Kingston's got the siege and the cav here. And there's the second town center for Kingston. Kingston can easily go for third after this as well. This can get very overwhelming here. The fact that Kingston is separating these crossbows away from everything else is pretty next level stuff. I know it seems simple, but there's a lot to manage right now. You're expanding your economy. You're balancing your economy. When you go for a push like this, you normally want all your focus here. And that's okay, because you can just smash your opponent. But yeah, these crossbows are just going to loop off to the side. I'm sure they'll be back. And now Uzzi has to factor that in. He has to think about that. But you also can't waste too much time, because if you waste too much time, then you're not going to be able to deal with this in the front. Close game. I think with good siege defense, this can swing. And right now, Kingston hasn't seen the siege workshop. He does come in on the left side. He does micro the siege back immediately. Sorry, he did know about the workshop. That's crazy micro, though. That first shot is always your best chance at getting the kill there. These crossbows will be chased down. But Uzzi still under a lot of pressure. Will probably want to chase and clear this. I think he's going to need a couple monks in the back in case Kingston ever chooses to dive. Because Kingston knows that army's chasing, and now he's going to dive. He knows those crossbows were chasing his crossbows. He will go in now, and he will take the Mangano. And that just gives him more time, sinking damage into this town center. And, oh, man, look how weak those units are, too. He does lose a couple Jean Bays to the town center. And the crossbows might get a volley or two. Oh, so close. Man, those monks to heal this up is so nice. And oh my god, a castle already? Damn. I mean, talk about military. This is ridiculous. Don't look at the res collected. Res collected does not matter right now. What matters is res destroyed, which is going to get really bad. Crossbows come back in on the left side. Kingston's done such a good job. And now, this is a must-stop castle for Uzzi. Uzzi will bring the crossbows in. If the micro's perfect, maybe he can deny this. But there's monks ready for his knights. He has to back off. His siege lands. He does back off. We will see the dive now from Kingston to take the siege. And then there's still more siege over here, which means the crossbows have to back away. And yeah, that castle's going up. And that just eliminates the town center. We do also have crossbows here from Uzzi. Force the villagers off stone, but... Ah, man. Vision is so important. Isn't it crazy, man? Like, guys, if he didn't have this town center, he's still getting pressured here, but he could have expanded his eco over here or something. Or over here. But that just feels so unnatural. It was the correct play to place the town center where he did. Now he's going to need to really fight. Still does not know about the siege workshop in the monastery here. But that'll be surprising. You'll think that's a new one, because the pressure's been coming from here. And my chat's been saying that Wei is OP. Not saying I disagree, but the thing is Wei or OP, they're very strong even before the Tiger Cav. And Tiger Cav are maybe one of the most OP things about them. It's such a strong unit. And there's going to be a lot of them from Kingston. There's also the Jean Bays. Uzzi, last he remembers, there was woodline exposed over here. Kingston had the town center ready. And yeah, I think this is giving Uzzi a bit of time to breathe at home. But unlikely he is going to accomplish much with this army. He is just so outclassed with this army. Look at the value destroyed bottom left. And Kingston has destroyed a lot of expensive army here. So it kind of evens out. 1,600 more value destroyed. And about the same higher resources collected for Uzzi. Which should make it a pretty even game still. Honestly, I mean, if Uzzi stayed at home, he's dead. So going forward with this army and Kingston chasing it the whole way, that's pretty sick. I think you're going to need a follow-up army. You're going to need an answer when this army returns, but this is good value for this. Just marching forward was a great play. I think what he needed was stone the whole time. Like, this whole time he needed to be on stone. And then by the time the army gets back from Kingston, he can drop a defensive castle. But yeah, this will get cleared, but that is good value in my opinion. That's maybe the best thing Uzzi could have done. That gives him a chance here. I still just don't know what army you make. I think full knights is the right play. And Tiger Cav, kind of good against everything. There's supposed to be like a Huskarl on a horse. So before this unit, we haven't had an anti-archer unit on a horse. But they also get more HP when they get a kill, and they also get more attack when they get a kill, which is just ridiculous. No unique text needed for that. I've joked that my 9-year-old cousin thought of the ideas for that because it's like too many things at once. Devs probably don't like to hear that. I probably shouldn't say it, but anyways, it's a really strong unit for what it is. It's also fairly cheap. Like I said, with their stats, they can also fight back knights pretty decently as well. Man, Kingston is so good with monks. Nice click walls on the left. Paid attention and got some conversions there. And now he's on the front. And here he comes again. Uzzi, if he had any chance, really needed the armor. And he does not have the armor yet. Now he has it, but his knights are in here. The villagers are running through. And that is going to be a castle right between both town centers. That will actually range both town centers. Could you play some more perfect castle? How do you stop this? Big attack ground from Kingston. The micro's insane. He hit all of those knights. We've got towers from Uzzi. He knows this is a GG castle. Will this castle go up? The only advantage that Uzzi has is his eco. He has to stop this castle from going up. Double tower completes. Castle's at 65. I mean, it denies the castle. He's still got the Villi. I would say maybe wall it up a little bit because we might have units come back. But if he can get more knights here, maybe there's a chance. It's very rare you see towers deny castles because, you know, normally the castle's going up. Oh, God, we got more coming. He's dropping another one, dude. The reason towers don't deny castles is because you don't have enough towers, apparently. There's siege here. There's the towers here. Oh, man, this could decide the game. The Tiger Cav will dive for the siege. The towers are up. Can he focus on all the vills? It's so difficult. Obviously, if the castle goes up, the castle's going to kill every single tower. 90%. Oh, it's going to go up. Damn, that's so disappointing. And there's so many vills around. All the vills and the towers are going to be exposed. You just couldn't let that castle go up. And he's been trying so hard, man. But every tower will get shot down. Kingston just had such good military. He's got double unique unit play here. He's got the Jean Bay. He's got the Tiger Cav. They both are very strong for different reasons. Just part of the issue with the Romans sometimes is what military do you make? And the answer is it's not supposed to be crossbow. Ideally, you're going to go for other things. Kingston knows he's probably got this game on lock, so he's checking the left. He's going to check the right. And Uzzi's only hope was that he wouldn't be found here. And he's been found. And Uzzi's Ville lead is going to disappear. Kingston just so good in Castle Age here this game. So good. The monks were always healing when they needed to be. Getting conversions when he needed them. He didn't even have great upgrades on his units half the game, but it's just the way he controlled them and the positioning of them was amazing. Here, there's a counterattack from Uzzi again. Kingston is locked in, man. I mean, he's got a million other places to look. He'll still see this. I think it's correct for Uzzi to continue to play on and fight. This is obviously looking very bad, but it is the first game. You want to get some nerves out of the way. And I actually think he played very well. I feel like Uzzi's goal should be to win the home map at least, which would be the next map. But in a play all three, you obviously need to fight for as many wins as possible. It just feels like the game's kind of falling apart for him right now. Yeah, really impressive from Kingston. In the end, Uzzi didn't do what I advertised. I advertised that he tends to make lots of armies. He actually played very low army count, which I think against the way you need the army. Maybe that first mass of crossbows he lost over here was the issue. When you're trying to play crossbow and you lose 10 to 15 of them early, it feels so tough to recover the numbers against cav archer units or cav. Maybe if he's able to get back with those units and then combine the crossbows with the knights, then he can take better fights, then he can hold the map, and then he could have been dropping the castle here. But that was still a really good game. Because sometimes the favorite wins and you're just like, yeah, I mean, the underdog clearly doesn't have a chance here, but I don't feel that way. So let's see what Uzzi's cooking up for us. Yeah, 115 units killed, 84 units lost. And yeah, the food and the gold eco, basically the two most important resources, I would say, for how you want to develop in a game. They were there, right? The food and the gold was sick, but he just couldn't win fights, man. He could not win fights, and then the castles were killer castles. There were 3 town centers ranged by a castle for Uzzi in this game. This was the first one, and this was the second one. Both these TCs would go down. Just painful. So Uzzi goes for Mudflow game number 2. This is more along the lines of what I was talking about, where you could make a lot of army. Mudflow, you start with 2 shorefish underneath, or 2 salmons underneath the TC, which is 450 food. You then have 2 elephants, which is 400 food each. You then have double berries. So lots of food, very easy to spam military. Uzzi knows he's the underdog, and he's going to need some strats, and he's going for an early barracks. Interesting. So you really have to map this out a little bit, guys, because you need the 2 houses, and then you need to have the wood for the barracks. So there's only a couple civs that can do this. Malians are one of, I think, 4 that could do this. Now, every build's a little bit different. Maybe one of 5. But yeah, he wants to make the militia, and he wants to hit Kingston's wood line. Here's the issue. Other civs would build a lumber camp on the big wood line. They would never expect this, and if they don't expect this, they lose their vills. And then their lumber camp's denied. But the Armenians don't actually have to go to the big wood line. So this, to me, is risky. He's hoping to see this, and no, bro, no. That's crazy. See, I would convince myself right now if I'm Uzzi. I'm like, crap. I'm trying this build against the wrong civ. He's going to have his mule card over here or something. Like, he needs to find some vills here. He's actually getting lucky that Kingston is still moving out here, because Kingston doesn't have to right now. But I think this is a strategy that works really well in week 1. Because in week 2 and week 3, everyone's going to know about it, and everyone's going to pre-wall their vills. And that scout should send off alarm bells in your head. Like, that much early scouting is kind of wild. And Kingston's going to wall this up. So, it's high risk, high reward. Good understanding from Kingston that if Uzzi has come forward like this, maybe this is a strategy. This also comes back to who are you training with? What do they know? But it's just amazing. Kingston's like, why are you here? Why are you hovering around my base looking at stuff? And he walls it up. A lot of people don't. So now I think you're looking for houses or house villagers to kill. So Uzzi still looking maybe for other things. Or you can deny the mill. But 2 militia on top of a house with elevation can actually take down a house pretty quickly. And now also there's a question of, can he recover the food and get to feudal age? Because you need to take these reeds to get a lumber camp, which takes some time. And then you're going to need the mill. And then did he even scout his own wood lines? He didn't scout good ones. He kind of got some weird wood lines here. I think if he was playing it standard, he would just scout this and take this. But yeah, very interesting build. It's a fun game so far. If Uzzi were playing against me, I think he would follow this up with a forward. And he would play tower behind this wood. And then he would go, yeah, he would go like man-at-arm tower and just try and deny the wood lines. But I don't know how viable that is against Kingston, and I don't know how viable that is against the mule carts. This is at least a positive. You force that one villager to repair. The problem for Kingston here is if you just let that house go down, it'll go down, and then he's just going to move to the other one. So you're going to have to repair at some point until you can deal with this. And he's just going to choose to repair now. He'll start to pre-wall in case there's more militia around the next mule cart onto the golds. And he clicks up to feudal. And Uzzi clicks up as well. Damn. That's a crazy build. You have no food bonuses for the Malians. Just the wood discount, and that's slight. It's enough to do this, but like that is a clean uptime. When you go barracks like that, you delay economic building. So you really should be later than the opponent, not at the same time. And again, I think the strat would be, you're this close, you go and you tower that wood line. But is that good against mule carts? I don't know. 13 is asking why I'm pronouncing hovering wrong. I'm going to play the clip that explains why I say Hoover sometimes after this, if you remind me, okay? It's, if you don't know, it's probably very confusing, but once you know, you'll understand. It's a reference to a clip. I know that can be confusing, so. Yeah, 2 more militia, and there's the villager. This is classic Uzzi. This is classic Uzzi. I'm getting AoE 2 PTSD right now from all the times I've been drushed, all the times I've been towered, all the times I've been forwarded. Uzzi's so good at these timings. But, you know, will Kingston deal with it? Kingston's going for the archer range to play fast archers against the infantry. He's checking right now. He also knows. This is amazing just how much they know each other. It's actually crazy. Kingston's walls, after the scout was there, he's like, wait a second, this is not normal. And now he brings his scout back. He could have run away to save his scout. And now he knows. He's like, this guy's going to freaking tower me. And look at that. Uzzi sees the counter tower. He's like, I'm going to do it anyways, fool. He backs his tower up. That's pretty awesome. You make one mistake against this, guys, you're dead, and we're in the next game. One mistake. All these tiny things that Kingston has done have kept him in a good position, but still it could snowball. And still Uzzi's economy is pretty weak. He's got a lot on berries, but, you know, could justify maybe more on berries on the other side. What he hasn't done is he hasn't dropped an archer range. The scout is dead for Kingston. Now, that is where the paranoia sets in. Because you're now like, he's going to send the villager forward. He's going to have an army. So, not having your scout can be pretty painful in these instances. But that tower doesn't do a lot right now. It does kind of block off that stone. He did wall it in. Oh, he didn't wall the one palisade on the other side, but he can't see it. So you need the third palisade, which is behind the tower. You can tell it's not built, bottom left. That needed to be completed, so he can't batter the tower down. Actually, you need a palisade here, too, because you can attack towers through corners. So if Kingston ever wants to, he could actually just take the tower down. I'm having fun with this. I hope you guys are, too. Thank you for the prime, Too Much Spirit. This is some good Age of Empires. This is what I'm talking about, man. Different strategies. There's history between the two of them. Uzzi's the underdog, but he's He's sending it every single game. I'm loving this, man. This is sick. I was a little tired starting the stream, but this is carrying me through. Scout is just attacking to give the... Well, I can't find any explanation for why the Scout attacked, but it did. I thought it was to give the Man-at-Arms some space to run away. But the explanation might be the game is hard, and he's busy doing something else. Dropping the archer range at home. So he will go for some skirms and archers. And the transitions for Kingston are kind of awkward, too. Lovely that he has a mule cart. I still feel like this tower is kind of useless. This is a tower and a strat that you do because this is what you practiced, and you want to do what you practiced. But Armenian's one of the few civs that could actually stabilize from this much easier. You could make galleys here, guys. This has now reached the stage of the game where we could see a dock, and you can make amphibious you can make units on the amphibious terrain. So, demo, galley, fire, all are options in the middle area. I wouldn't hate it. I think it's tough to mass a lot of galleys, so it's probably would be fire ship or demo, but just because of the cost. But imagine, well, I guess the way Kingston is walled, you can't use ships on him. Which is, he's walled factoring in the dock, which is smart. But Kingston could still do it. You could dock here, and then you could build a gate, and then you could go demo over here. And just big walls right now for Kingston. Yeah, our base. I can't say that I'm that excited for the new water balance to come in. Midway through TTL Season 5. I'm nervous. I think is the best way to describe it. The testing balance that they did not excite me for more changes. I'm very nervous. It's Microsoft's initiative. They're releasing the DLC. We've already discussed it. It will come obviously mid TTL season, but we're in wait and see mode, and my fingers are crossed that it will be exciting. Uzzi trying to be sneaky, and Kingston just in the right position. He finds the army from Uzzi, and now Uzzi might need a switch, man. That was not what he needed. It's just Kingston just has so much confidence. He was protecting the wall for a second, and then after protecting the wall, he moves forward, and he's fully walled. So everything's pretty good. Tower on the left side from Uzzi. So this is where you have to think about your base layout. It's like, I'm exposed on the left. I'm walled on the front and towered. The right side, you're then vulnerable. You might want to wall from the market to the edge of the map, and then you're somewhat safe. He's even pre-walling back here, which is really nice early thinking. Uzzi never has holes in his walls. Again, I played Uzzi a lot. He is always getting the walls down against me. Oh my god! Oh, okay, I'm wrong. Okay. Well, he's up against Kingston. He's got holes in his walls everywhere. He's up against me. Never a hole in the wall. Yikes. Horrible for Uzzi. But, I mean, you gotta have military, man. He lost that whole army. He hasn't been able to do damage offensively. And now he's got 10 farms fully abandoned. Oh, poor Uzzi. Do we still have the Jinx emote? That's funny, man. Someone needs to clip that. We used to have the Jinx emote, but no one used it. But I feel like if we had the Jinx emote now, people would use it. I jinxed him big time. Defensive tower from Kingston. That'll go up. He's fine. And Kingston still has the army here. And you just can't leave your farms and never get to Castle Age. That's brutal. Damn. But we always say, like, you gotta check. You gotta click out. Which is something that I've grown used to seeing him do. That's so sad, though. I mean, he needs some damage quickly. He actually left a farm there, too, so that's 60 wood down the drain. And remember, it's a play all three, and that win's going to matter in Game 3 just as much as this one does, but... Wait, was there a hole here? Oh my god, it's Age of Holes. There's now a hole here, too. Comeback time for Uzzi. There's no army in the back for Kingston, and now Kingston needs to leave. And when you can't farm around the town center, It's absolute mayhem. That's crazy. Villagers are going to have to fully abandon the food eco. There they go over to the trees. And he's like fully evacuating his base right now. And now Uzzi almost left. And Uzzi's like, wait a second. You're going to go back to the farms, aren't you? And now Kingston's like, shit. He's on to me. Oh, that's funny. Well, that makes the game a lot more interesting. I still think being in Castle Age faster will be good enough for Kingston, but let's see. Uzzi's going to need some counter damage. His army should be on the way home here, Kingston, and he'll come home with the army. And he's already thinking about a town center down there towards the middle. He just has to find those archers in his base. He actually shifted over to this gold, too. He's defending that with this skirm, and now he's looking over here. And he'll find this. That's funny. Chat, would you like a curse of the commentator emote? I think part of the reason Jinx was never used was because I don't know if like everyone knows curse of the commentator, but I don't know if they would ever say someone jinxed it. It might also, I think it was too busy of an emote. We tried to do too much with it. But I'm going to be adding more soon. So if you want them, let me know. No response from chat right now. Chat's pretty chilling, so. We are chat. We're here for the entertainment. We're not here for the emotes. The town center goes up. Monastery goes up for Kingston. He'll think about the relics. Uzzi uses the market big time. Sold 500 wood and bought 300 food. Really struggling to get the food to click up. He does actually have more resources collected. And there's not a ton of army control for Kingston, so. And if he were to get even a feudal age army into his base, he could have problems. He's going to add a scorpion. Draccio says, I've heard Jinx more than Curse, TBH. Okay, well, who knows then? It's been years. It's been a really long time since we've had it, so I think we'll maybe add it back. Kingston's getting eco upgrades before military upgrades, but he does still have an army here. And that army's going to go in, and Uzzi's going to switch double dock. That'll be obvious, too. Kingston will see that. That'll maybe give Kingston the idea. But again, the fact that Kingston doesn't have even crossbow or bodkin there is really nice for Uzzi, because he can breathe a little bit. Scorpion defended over here. Town center in the middle is really nice. Relics coming in is really nice for Kingston. This is scaling pretty well. I think Uzzi's got one more big push, though, because he's got the army lead, and it's only booming for Kingston. And so, if you were to win water on this map, you'd control all the stones and all the woods in the middle. That's a pretty damn big deal. But Kingston's going to go for a demo, maybe for this juicy wood line here. But Uzzi's going to go galleys, which I don't hate. And maybe Kingston's been a little too confident here. I thought he would end this in early Castle Age with some military, but he did stop producing military. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. There's a demo on the loose. There's a demo on the loose. There's a demo on the loose. There's a demo on the loose! Nobody told the archers. Nobody shared the word with the archers. You gotta tell your archers, guys. What are we doing? Beautiful demo. That was sick. And that's why you didn't need a lot of army. Why make a lot of army when one demo will do? Oh, God. Oh, God. There's another one. There's another one. And there's a town center going up. Oh, no. Oh, no. Please, no. Please, no. Please, no. Please, no. Please, no. Quick walls. Quick walls. Quick walls. Quick walls. Quick walls. Demo, 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 demo. That's okay. Could have been worse. You could have lost the whole family. Instead, you only lost a few people you didn't like. It's fine. 3 villagers down. That could have been 15. That's fine. And Uzzi actually sacrificed there. That's good. And demos you can only use once. So, galleys you can use forever, in theory. Nice raids over here. We got the galleys behind the woodline. We have the archers and the skirms. Galleys will always counter a scorpion. It's just a weird aspect of the map, how you can still play water. I actually think Uzzi can win this game. Because so much of the economy for Kingston is invested into the middle. And that's because most of the wood is there. All the gold is on the upper ring, so that avoids the middle, but... And Kingston's going to try and recover with his own navy. He does have the superior navy long-term. He's got the way better navy long-term. And he just needs his upgrades right now, because he doesn't have Bodkin arrow yet. He might think he has Bodkin. This whole time he might think he had it, because he had the archers earlier. He's dropped a lot of churches. He's got a lot of vills in and out of church, which I guess is good for their soul, but I don't think that's good for their economy. Farming eco's fine. It's seen better days for Uzzi. But Uzzi maybe has some chances here. It's a really hard map to play now. Now that it's become this weird galley war. Yeah, but Kingston is getting Bodkin now. And that should help. There's a lot of weak ships over here, which he could probably deal with. I feel like guard tower upgrade could be worth it, and ballistics could be worth it for both. Would not surprise me to see a university at some point, but yeah, pathing's looking kind of weird. There's mule carts and churches everywhere. The churches being a defensive structure is still really tough to navigate sometimes. But we do have a tower from Uzzi. Tower there, tower there. All right. We get another tower. Guard tower upgrade would be huge, Uzzi. He's dropping another tower. Look at the idle time for Kingston. Oh, he's dropping a castle. That's a pretty good castle. This castle will shoot down that tower, and then he can take all this wood and deny the wood from Uzzi. Uzzi has so many villagers here. That's a great castle from Kingston. So one person towers, the other person goes castle. Castle's being denied. Okay. I feel like this is a repeat of the previous game where he's going to try and tower to deny this. I just don't know if he can. There's just too many ships. Too many ships. Too many boats. Castle will complete. Kingston, he can lose that town center and still be fine. He's still got a nice villager lead. Castle goes up. That is a crazy castle. Where's Uzzi supposed to go now? Uzzi had all of his eco right here. And his town center will go down. He would need to run over here to place the town center. Or here. I guess that works. It's funny how some people play this map. Sometimes you won't see a single boat. Other times you'll see the occasional demo, but then all land units. And now in this game, it's just turned into like full boats. But I don't think every game's going to be like this. Unfortunately, I think that hole ruined the game for Uzzi. He's done a good job at trying to recover. But Kingston just too good so far. And there's just too many ships chasing him down. I think the towers as well, they'll get like 5-shotted. So the towers won't even do too much for him right now without being guard tower. And this is probably over. Fun game, though. Fun game. I'm really curious on Kingston. Like, where would you guys put Kingston in his group if you had to guess? What place at the end of group stage? Because it's a really tough group, man. It's a really tough group. But he was, like, almost first one time. He's been top 8 at LAN events. Like, if he's playing his best, he could be first. He could be up to platinum for the next season. Fortax says 5th. Arbe says 2nd after Jordan. Well, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. One person saying 5th and one person saying 2nd is exactly the point I wanted to make. Couldn't end up in any position, but I think he's been really consistent in this series. Uzzi has really tried everything. But yeah, that hole between the houses really hurt this game. And also, I think the build was fully designed to beat civs that aren't mule cart civs. I guess in the end, Kingston just walled in his mule cart, no problem. But still, I think the Armenians are a really nice counter to this playstyle. That was so fun, though. Well played from Uzzi. I just love the game sense from Kingston. If these players hadn't played each other 9 times in tournaments, if they weren't from the same country, if they didn't have such crazy history, I think Kingston probably doesn't preemptively defend every single little play, but he knows his opponent here. All right, so first time I've been able to cover a game on Quarry in a while. People used to call this the Pokeball map, but you can call it what you'd like. Quarry, you've got the little quarry in the middle. And so a bit of cracked terrain in there and a bit of a depression. So taking that area could easily be pushed if you were to build town centers there. Now, it is open through the middle, but it is blocked off on the sides by trees. But it's only 50 wood per tree. So it is rare, but you could chop through to the other side. So players will have to be aware of that possibility and build outposts or wall that area in the long term. We've got the shoe for Kingston. The Kingston so far has been happy to just push in some deer. It looks like that's going to be the same exact thing for Uzzi. And then the berries are always fixed on the front. The other resources are normally scattered around the sides and the back. So obviously lots of wood, lots of stone, and lots of gold. A relic situation, there's 3 relics towards the middle, 1 in the very middle, and then 1 on either side. Usually this is a map where we see it go kind of late. Just depending on player styles, though. You still could see feudal age openings because this is a lot to wall out here. But usually a civ that can be really good at fighting in one spot with range is very strong. So we've seen strong monk civs, and we've seen Britons, for example, for the extra archer range in the past. But it has been a while. I don't know what people have been testing. Like Kingston with the shoe, I could see him going for like just like man-at-arms and archers. Could see scouts from Uzzi as well. So you consider this closed-ish. Because you would have to build the walls and you would have to fight for map control, but there is a possibility to go for the big walls if you want to. Kangabanga, that's exactly what I like to hear. We have a pause here. I'm not saying that I want you guys to actually be unproductive at your jobs to the point where you jeopardize your jobs, because that would be rude of me. However, he says now my workday productivity is going to plummet. Plummet's okay. Fall off a cliff? No. Get you fired? No. But your work productivity going down a little bit. I guess plummet's not a little bit. I'll take. I take that as a compliment. So you're welcome. Dan says, if we lose our jobs, how can we afford to sub? Exactly. I mean, sub is like way down on my priority list. I don't know you guys as people, but I don't want you guys to have issues paying your bills and food and all that stuff. So hopefully all that's taken care of first. And then if you subscribe, that's amazing. Put some food on my plate. But yeah, the prediction contest I'll talk a little bit about, and the fantasy team right after this, because I think there's some chatters who didn't hear about it yet, so they can waste more of their time. Or not waste, but enjoy, Kingston is bringing in boar number 2. He is dropping the barracks. Old meta, we'd actually see drush fast castle here. We'd see the militia. We'd see the walls. And then we'd just see full fast castle behind it. But I think it just feels like so much time to wall. I think it's going to be more aggressive than that. Remember, this is the home map for Kingston, so he's already up 2-0. Odds are he's pretty comfortable here. Pizza 378 says, my wife gets upset that I only listen to T90 and not to her. No comment. Just like some life advice. Maybe you should listen to her a little bit more than me. I don't want to cause any friction in the relationship there, bro. That does remind me of the one time at that meetup years back. Damn, this would have been like 8 years ago now. I did a meetup at a like a pinball bar, like a gaming bar in North Carolina, because I was, in North Carolina, wanted to give it a shot. We had 7 or 8 people show up. It was a good time, but it was a different time, right? Like I would think we'd maybe have a few more people get there these days. And at one point, this woman walks up to me and she's like, "So you're the reason my husband never pays attention to me. You're the reason my husband's always up late watching TV and not doing his, the dishes." And she didn't really say it in like a super fun way. It wasn't like, ha 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 ha, you're the reason. It was like, you're the reason. So I hope I'm not talking about your wife right now, Pizza. It's fine. It's a funny joke, but like, I definitely will never forget that. I was like, oh, whoops. Here come the militia from Kingston. Early walls from Uzzi. He was expecting this. Uzzi's going fast castle. Uzzi's going full risk mode. And it's actually going to be man-at-arms for Kingston here, so... The Khmer can usually go up faster, especially up faster than whatever this build is. So, like, man-at-arms, you add an extra villager to the build. Khmer can go instant archers or instant scouts. They would be in feudal age already. So Kingston should recognize now that this is some risky approach from Uzzi. I definitely like the fact he's going for a risky approach because he's lost 2 games. This isn't his map. And he needs a risk. But will he be able to get the resources to click up on time? The scout has tried to escape a couple times. Hasn't been able to get away. Was a little late to gold for this. I think he was just too focused on getting those walls down and tracking the militia. I'm okay with this, though. I think if you add an extra villager or 2, it's still okay. Even if you have the tower here, it's fine. But you really can only choose one thing when you get to the next stage, and I think it's going to have to be scorpions. Yeah, he's on the way up. What do we feel about double Siege Workshop Scorpion spam all-in Castle Age from Uzzi here? I'm a big fan of that. Your opponent only makes ranged units. Your opponent has open infantry and ranged units. I think double Siege Workshop is maybe a bit much, but Scorpions could be nice. Now, Kingston's investing into eco upgrades. Kingston's investing into walls. He's playing the more standard approach. But he won't break through here. Not easily, anyways, but it will be a stable for Uzzi. Berserk Moose says his wife calls me the fish and chips guy again. Oh, no. I'm saying fishing ships, not fish and chips. Fishing ships. I can only enunciate so much. All right, now, what you could try here if you're Uzzi is you could hop in the house. You could try and risk getting a villa out the other side and building a stone wall there. Hop in. Embrace your inner Viper vibes. Yeah. I think Kingston backed the archers away because he didn't want that to happen. We don't know. Uzzi might have actually tried to eject out the other side. That's some really nice pressure here from Kingston. Really smooth. I would have gone for arson. Arson, you'd get through these buildings so much faster, but the fast castle is a really risky strat. It's really weak. It really hurts your economy. The economy is going to be much better for Kingston. He's killed a villager, and he'll apply even more pressure and force more idle time. But there we go. Uzzi is up. Uzzi is up. Uzzi's going to be making 2 knights. And Kingston is backing away with the panic. But you should know, it's not really that easy to go knights and scorpions. So you have a little bit of time. Basically, you have to add farms now to keep your TCs running if you're Uzzi, so you're not going to be on scorpions. Polyman says, how can Kingston be 7 villagers ahead? When you go up to the next stage, you're not producing vills. It's something you always have to remember. That's why going up to feudal age too fast or castle age too fast can be a weakness, because you have far less vills working as you're on the way to the next stage. So obviously, castle age against feudal age, it will even out eventually, because Kingston will have to stop producing vills to go up. But look at how many villagers Kingston has right now. Nice job from Uzzi to mask the knights, but The fact that you can skip making a blacksmith to do everything is nice, but now you kind of need it, right? Now you would love to have an armor upgrade. It seems like he doesn't feel scorpions as an option. And Kingston is getting spears, and he actually had forging click there for a second. But he canceled it. His walls are really weird back here. He's clearly not paying a lot of attention. Honestly, his economy has seen better days. He way overloaded the berries. If there's a hole in the wall, it could be game ending. Will there be a hole here? Here, let me try and jinx it. There's no way there's a hole here. Kingston is always fully walled. Oh, I got excited. Nope, there's... Okay, no hole. Nice rewall there from Uzzi. He will drop the Siege Workshop. So one Scorpion could help shut this down. The Knights are going to come home as well. I actually think this is very, very doable for Uzzi, guys. I mean, he could clear this whole army. He's got a couple minutes. He just needs to be careful, but he can hop in and out of the houses, right? 8 range Scorpion. He traps the army. Oh, man. I mean, this does tank the whole eco for Uzzi. He's got villagers off of gold. He's got villagers inside the town center. But that's a beautiful little play. And now this army will have to break his way out. So far, Uzzi hasn't got hit by a single Scorpion. Now he is. Now the villager hops out to hit the house again. Now the villager's back inside. Scorpion's still firing. Will the villager hop out again? House is going down. I think you gotta send the build. No, go back inside. Okay, she dies. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? If you kill this whole army, it's maybe worth it. Man, the micro from Kingston is crazy. How did he not die? How did he micro all of that? It's honestly such good value. He will lose his whole army, but he had so much time. I know that doesn't seem like much, but 1 minute is a lifetime in AoE 2. And if this army would have been over here already, very different response needed for Kingston. So, good game, though. Second town center's on the way up for Uzzi. I think his strategy's actually worked out nicely. With the second town center being faster, I know he's behind with some eco upgrades and all that, but this could be okay. Just passing from the scout there from Kingston. And scout still survives. It will be a ram. It will be 2 Scorpions. And then I think Uzzi's going to just boom. So Vil count might end up being even. He only lost 2, and he'll have 2 town centers. Still haven't seen any activity on the sides. But I guess Kingston is walled, so that's not even a factor. So if there is a chop on the sides, the units are still going to be walled out unless he doesn't plug that gap. The Scorpions are a bit of a problem. We will see some cav here from Kingston, which is the perfect play. And Uzzi should back off or have monks. He's got the monastery. But if he doesn't back off, I think the Scorpions can be sniped, and the ram might be a waste. And he's not backing off. The Haegwang is here. It just needed a slightly faster reaction to that knowledge. And the Scorpions are going to get sniped. The Knights are going to get sniped. And Kingston with a very nice play there. Nice clear up. Shu Haegwang is like not very impressive. Only 60 HP, so it's not a unit you really want to make that many of. Obviously, making them against Scorpions is perfect, though. Every game, I know Uzzi's lost and he could lose this game, but every single game he's played really solid, in my opinion. He just seems to be one slight step behind his opponent, but it's super close. What I always struggle with is you've now got to fix your eco. Like, your whole build was kill fast, get army fast, and now you're trying to reverse the order when you're under pressure. So, horse collar is a good call, but like double bit. Double bit needs to come in for wood. You already think you have that. You normally aren't researching it 23 minutes into the game. So, it's your game sense doesn't tell you need it just because of the lack of experience. He will get away with this relic, it seems. Passive Aggressive says, just watching the Viper Sebastian on YouTube, it's always so funny / impressive when you're trying to keep the cast interesting, even when it's so over. I mean, that's part of it. But like, also, I think people sometimes assume a game is over when it's not. But, you know, my job is to talk through the game, and but I never want to be that guy who's like acting like it's a game when it isn't. I hope it's never feels like that. Like right now, Kingston's got a very nice lead. But this is 3 town centers versus 2, and it's tough for Kingston to apply game-ending damage right now. So this could swing with a couple fights. Love how Kingston has been with the scouts here. Just looking around, gaining knowledge. He did the same earlier. He has pretty good scouting for a pretty close map. And now he's going to take this position, which Uzzi probably doesn't know, but there is stone and gold over here. So long term, even having any pressure here, it isn't game ending, but it is game affecting. 52 villagers versus 55. And was this a conversion? I think this is just one of the knights Uzzi made, right? I'm stupid. Obviously, it's not a conversion. They don't get knights. Sorry. I was thinking it was knight v knight. All right, Uzzi's going to get the second relic. Monk is getting the conversion. No. Convert, drop. Convert. Sway him back. That needs to be a delete. Yeah, smart from Kingston. So back in the day, guys, here comes the scout. There was bigger variance in the conversions. Eventually, they changed it because people kept whining about it. But you take the chance there 5 years ago, 4 years ago even, hoping you get the kill there. But there's less variance with when a conversion happens and it doesn't, so it's much easier to predict. There still needs to be some variance, in my opinion, because if there's 0 bit variance, the deletes become even more predictable. But anyways, beautiful play from Kingston because he got the conversion, he deleted properly, and then he brings the scout in to kill the monk. He's just playing so solid. And he's also applying pressure on the town center. It feels weird, but I don't know if 22 on food is enough for your villagers to produce and also consistent army. It's close, but maybe in situations like this, you could actually just idle your town centers a little bit. Sometimes it'll happen unintentionally because you're spending so much food on the cav. Just to get some army on the field. Light cav is a really good call. But Kingston sees the stables, guys. Like, this scout went in, did his job, killed the monk, gives all the information. There's no way you're going to add knights here for Uzzi. It's always going to be light cav because the opponent has monks. And now he's just going to back off. And now he looks again. He's like, what you doing, bro? Oh, a light cav in there. That's cool. Scorpions? That's fun. What else you got in there? All right. Well, he misclicked, but okay. All right. You got some light cav. You got some scorpions. Perfect. He's going to fall back into his base. Has a mangonel sitting behind the walls. Dropping an outpost on the left, just in case there's a sneak. We'll drop an outpost on the right, just in case there's a sneak. Still has a villager back here. And, seems like the plan is Imperial Age. Has quite a lot of information with the buildings around the map. And with what that scout provided him, and now he waits for Imperial Age. T90, what if we make it a set time, but disable deleting units that are actively being converted? No, removing player control is silly. I like to add things players can do to the game, not remove. The fact that someone deletes their own unit because of a conversion it's a unique thing. Now, here's where it hasn't gotten yet, and it will. But because of this new Tiger Cab unit, which is really broken, getting HP and getting kills when you, getting HP and getting attack when you get kills, people need to delete their armies. People are gonna do it. They're just gonna straight up delete armies because they don't want those units to get stronger. With monks, it's one thing, but with the Tiger Cab, it's a whole nother thing. So I think it's fine as is. Not the Tiger Cab, but the conversion thing. The Tiger Cav, I think it needs balanced. So Kingston ran in. He got a little bored sitting at home, I guess. He ran in, Snipe some siege. See some big walls now. Both players are on the way to imp. Lycav can actually make it in, which is a problem. You don't want Uzzi to see what army comp you're going for. Even if they kind of expect it, you don't want this. But there was a hole. And now the crossbows are here. He does re-wall it, so the Lycav can't leave. What do you do if you're Uzzi? I feel like Khmer want a really open map. And there go the Lycav, more quick walls. Man, he would kill to have ballistics 20 seconds faster. And now he needs to save the mangonel. Now he deletes the wall. And there's another hole. Oh, dude, that's so funny. I mean, these Lycav are going to go down, but this is giving Uzzi a lot of time to think about his next play. Beautiful quick walls, though, from Kingston. I'm really trying to think. I don't know what the Khmer do on this map. On other maps, as he deletes the walls, you've got the mobility, right? But on this map, there's a choke point. And traction trebs and choke points are crazy strong. So Wu, Shu, and I guess Wei should be insane because traction trebs are really good. Shu also, they could get the unique tech for their archer line, which is really strong. Army's still running around. Ballista elephants feel really expensive, but maybe that's your best unit. Or full battle elephants for Khmer, still really costly for 95 bills. But you could one ballista elephant cut the outside and open it up. That's actually a big play. Yeah, that's a big play. I like that. But are you going to think of it? I don't know. That's a very Twitch chat comment, you know? It's easy to think about that when your legs are kicked up. You're stuffing your face with Doritos. And you're drinking your favorite beer. But, like, when you're in the game, I don't know if that really come to mind unless you see it happen a couple times, you know? And once it's unlocked in the pro player brain because somebody's done it, then people will start to do it more. Sorry, I wasn't... Did I correctly predict what you guys are doing right now? Sorry, I promise. No one told me. It was just a wild guess. He wants the pressure with the traction trebs. He wants a forward castle as well. He can't exactly get there. Is he waiting to take down the wall before building the castle? Also, can he build that through his wall? Oh! Oh my god, you can sometimes build through your opponent's wall from a diagonal, and I thought he was going to destroy his own castle. I think you could still make it happen with one bill if you replace the castle. Arbalest is in. I would just say don't wait and just drop a castle here, but he seems to think this game is over, and he's through. That is a crazy castle. That is a, I am better than you. I know I'm ahead, and I am going to 3-0 this series castle. Underneath the opponent's castle, which could be making trebs. Feels a little unnecessary. But he's got the 4 relics. He has the traction trebs. And once the traction trebs get close, the traction trebs can help. And his castle will complete. Traction trebs with 14 range is a problem, guys. And unlike bombard cannons, you can produce them right away in imp. So, Uzzi will have to back his trebs up behind his own castle. But I still think these traction trebs can actually get to the trebuchet. At least from this side. That's such a strong unit. So good. And I think it's a part of the reason why he picked the shoe for this map. Other reason would just be the overall build, but this map is usually about ending early Imperial Age. Another trebuchet goes down. So that's 2 trebuchets down for Uzzi. Town center's down for Uzzi. He's cramped. He can't move. This relic is just giving Kingston so much time to fix his eco if he needs to, or to get more technologies to take all the gold as well. Once people figured out the traction trebs, once people figured out how to use them, and then also devs nerfed them against units and buffed them against buildings. I think they actually became much stronger. They're still good against units, but they're even better against buildings now. And good luck stopping him. This castle's just buying time right now. 14 range traction trebs just control so much of this map. But castle's down. Population's high. An army of mainly skirmishers for Uzzi, which should be good against Arbalests in theory. Arbs that are not fully upgraded. Uzzi loses his own castle, though, which means his trebs are exposed. Also, the war chariots are a pretty good unit against skirmishers. It's a good unit to mix in. Another treb down. The scorpions are going to go down. It feels like Uzzi's units just cannot engage into this death ball right now. Remember, so much time right beyond this on the gold. Feasting on that gold. Economy completely untouched right now for Kingston. And these traction trebs and the Arbalests have just pretty much snowballed the game to victory here. When we created this map originally, though, traction trebs did not exist. I really like them here. I think Wei probably feel a little less natural on this map because Wei are more of a mobility civ in the mid game. But Shu are kind of perfect because you're a slow archer siege civ with good eco. So you can just get to imp and you could push a lot of different civs. We've also seen like Britons, Bohemians should be really strong here. Yeah, I don't think Uzzi ever really had the time to get the farming eco to consider Cav. He was under too much pressure. But yeah, obviously having some Cav in here would be good too. Going skirms felt natural against the Arbalest. Maybe. Okay, so he might actually naturally chop through here now. But he's been spotted, man. Kingston sees everything. He sees everything. He does. He sees it on the right side. He sees it here. Just back to that scouting earlier was so good from him, too. To have no surprises in Castle Age. Very well played here from Kingston. And you can tell, Uzzi's got potential. Every game was somewhat close. I actually really respect that. Because, guys, we've seen multiple game threes in these play all threes to start off gold and to start off silver. Where in the third game, the player who lost the first two completely collapses and or rage quits at the start, right? So I appreciate the energy from Uzzi. I really do. I think every game it was a good strat. Every game was a good fight. But Kingston just too good. I think there is this view, maybe, but for both of them, that being both from Mexico, both being at the top there, knowing each other very well, that Kingston is the best between the two of them. But you wouldn't have been able to tell by Uzzi's confidence with the strats. I still feel like Uzzi still performed very well. He didn't take unnecessary risks. It felt really solid. So, remember, Kingston was platinum before. He would like to get back. And Uzzi is surrounded by all players in the group who have been platinum before. So it'll be a tough first run in gold. But you still got 4 rounds to go for Uzzi to turn it around. Really solid start for Kingston.